Cultural Center, and thank you to everyone who's joining us online. My name is Vanessa Joseph, and I serve as the chair of the National Haitian American Elected Officials Network, known as NHAEON. I'm also a member of the Haitian American community and an immigration attorney. I share that because I want you to know that today's issue is not a theoretical one for me or any of us who are here today. Because as an attorney, I also see this as a member of the Haitian diaspora, and I also see it as someone who works with families trying to understand what this ruling means for their lives, for their children, for their work, and of course for their future. And so we're gathered here today in response to the Supreme Court's June 25th ruling on temporary protected status and to call the United States Senate to swiftly pass S 4814, the Markey Blunt Rochester bill, to designate Haiti for temporary protected status through 2029. Today's press conference is hosted by several organizations in partnership with community organizations, advocates, faith leaders, labor partners, TPS holders, and Haitian American elected officials from across the country. We're grateful to our partners and presenters, including NHAEON, the Florida Immigrant Coalition, FLIC, Family Action Network Movement, Sant, Haitian Neighborhood Center, the Haitian American Professionals Coalition, HAPC, Ayiti Community Trust, ACT, Avanse Ansanm, SEIU 32BJ, Miami Worker Center, and the many community leaders who continue to stand with Haitian families. This is a South Florida press conference, but this is a national call to action. Haitian TPS holders and their families live, work, worship, they study, they contribute in communities across the United States. And that's why you're not only going to hear from leaders here in South Florida, but also from elected officials joining us virtually from New York City, Boston, East Orange, and Washington, D.C. For the sake of time, speakers will proceed in the order listed in the program. Each speaker will offer very brief remarks from their area of work and leadership, and we ask all speakers to keep remarks. Same. We ask all speakers to keep remarks focused and within their allotted time. We have a very, very clear message to the day, and that is that Haitian TPS holders are part of our families. They're part of our workplaces, our churches, our schools, our businesses, and communities. And the Senate must act now to protect them and to protect us. Today's a painful and urgent moment for the Haitian community. For many people watching the Supreme Court's ruling, it certainly sounds like a legal decision or just a new policy development. But for Haitian families, for this community, the ruling is a deeply personal one. I've said it many times before, rulings like these aren't just felt in a courtroom, but they're also felt at kitchen tables. They're felt in our churches. They're felt in our workplaces. It's being felt by parents who are asking themselves questions that parents should not have to ask. Questions about whether they can keep working. Will I lose my ability to provide for my family? What happens to my children? What happens to my home? TPS exists because there are moments when conditions in country make safe return challenging, and Haiti's in such a moment. Haitian TPS holders aren't strangers because they're the people that we know. They're our neighbors. They're the caregivers to our loved ones, the co-workers that we joyfully greet each and every single day. They're the small business owners who keep our economy running. They're the parishioners who sit in pews. They're the students who will one day be our future leaders, and they're the parents that are raising American children. They're people who've worked lawfully, they've paid taxes, supported local economies, and strengthened communities across this country. The consequences of ending TPS won't be limited to individual families, and I know that you'll hear this message over and over again because it'll affect employers, it's going to affect our schools, our churches, our healthcare systems, our caregiving networks, our local economies, and certainly our entire communities. So that's why NHAEON and every organization here today is calling on the United States Senate to act with urgency. We're calling on senators to support S 4814, calling on senators to co-sponsor the bill and show that they stand with the Haitian community. We're calling on Senate leadership and the Senate Judiciary Committee to move this bill forward. And we're calling for a yes vote to protect Haitian families and provide the stability that they and we deserve. So it's not only an immigration issue. This is a family issue. It's a workforce issue. It's an issue of public safety, one for mental health. But above all, it's a moral issue. And as Haitian American elected officials, community leaders, advocates, and allies, we're here to say that Haitian families deserve protection, dignity, and certainty. And so now we turn to leaders standing with us today to speak on the impact that this decision will have on our communities and why congressional action cannot wait. So we'll now hear from Tessa Petit, the Executive Director of Florida Immigrant Coalition.
Good morning, everyone. I am Tessa Petit. I'm the Executive Director of the Florida Immigrant Coalition. On Thursday, when the Supreme Court made that decision to terminate TPS and give a win to the Department of Homeland Security, they did not just affect Haitians. They put the lives of 1.5 million TPS recipients at risk. Of those, 400,000 are right here in our state of Florida. And of those 400,000, we have close to 180,000 Haitians. Temporary protective status was created to protect people who are in the United States from having to return to their home country because their home country is unsafe. Temporary protective status, when it became law in 1990, it specifically described the country condition that would justify a country to qualify for temporary protective status and its people to be allowed to remain in the United States. Regardless of what the Supreme Court said and regardless of what the Department of Homeland Security says, by law, Haiti qualifies for temporary protective status. We do. The Supreme Court decision, and you've heard Vanessa mention earlier, the Supreme Court decision is going to uproot hundreds of thousands of families, 350,000 Haitians who are TPS recipients with over 80,000 US-born children. We have been through this before. We've had temporary protective status for Haiti since 2010. And practically every 18 months we go through a similar struggle, but for some reason this one looks more final, right? More dangerous for our communities. But the truth is, we knew a long time ago that Haitians needed a more permanent status in the United States because of our situations in Haiti. We also know that Congress in April understood and recognized that the need for a long-term status for Haitians not only was needed but justified. And that is why they took a bipartisan vote to designate TPS for Haitians until 2029. This bill is now in the Senate. What happened in the House of Representatives was that Republicans felt emboldened and brave enough to vote yes for Haiti TPS because members of Congress who are Republican out of here in Florida had the courage to vote yes and to sign the discharge petition. Why? Because Florida is home to the largest Haitian diaspora in this country. Actually home to the largest Haitian diaspora in the world. And that is the reason why we have our two senators here in the state of Florida need to step up and be brave and publicly announce and co-sponsor Senate Bill S-4814. They need to do it because then that will help us find the other Republican senators who are willing to help our Haitian communities. The two senators in Florida took an oath, and when they went to the election, they agreed to protect everyone in the state. And as Haitians in the state, we need their protection. I want to encourage everyone here to talk to your senators. Do not be afraid, and ask them to vote yes on Senate Bill 4814 and protect that same Haitian community that voted for them.
Thank you so much, Tessa. At this time, I'd like to welcome Andy Cabrera, the Florida District Leader for SEIU 32BJ, to speak on the impact on workers and the economy.
Good morning, and thank you for having us. My name is Andy Cabrera. I'm the District Leader for Service Employee International Union, Local 32BJ. I want to share that collectively today we are heartbroken. We stand with our partners, elected officials, and community to express outrage and grief at the Supreme Court's decision giving this administration nearly uncheckable power to upend the lives of these and all TPS recipients. TPS holders came from fleeing disasters, violence, and dangerous conditions. And by this administration's own admission, countries like Haiti are still very dangerous, that the State Department warns U.S. residents not to travel there. This decision threatens the well-being of more than 1 million TPS holders across our country. Here in Florida, TPS holders are a part of the backbone of our communities and our economy. They are airport workers, cleaners, security officers, food service workers, and many others who keep our state running. They assist elderly passengers. They clean plane terminals, care for our seniors. Many have lived here for years. Many of their children and relatives who are U.S. citizens are also being affected by this decision. This not only hurts them, this hurts us all. This current administration would have us believe that immigrants are the reason why wages are low and people are struggling. I'm here to say that this is false. Harsh immigration policies do not protect workers. They push people into the shadows. They make exploitation easier, they drive down the wages, and they weaken protections for everyone. This is not a Haitian issue. This is an American issue. When one group of workers becomes more vulnerable, all workers are at risk. This is why we call on this administration to reverse course and restore TPS protections for Haitians and others. And we call on Congress to act now and support a real path to permanent residence and citizenship for long-term residents. 32BJ SEIU is proud to stand with TPS holders, immigrant families, and all workers fighting for dignity, safety, and respect. We are heartbroken, but we will continue to fight in our streets, in our workplaces, at the ballot box, and by every legal means available. We stand with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. At this time, I'd like to call up Sandra Dennis, one of our fiercest organizers, and the executive director of the Miami Workers Center, to help us understand better the effects on community stability and economic justice.
Hello again, my name is Sandra Dennis, and I'm the president and founder of Avanse Ansanm, also current chairwoman of the Haitian American Professionals Coalition, day job executive director of the Miami Workers Center. I stand here today on behalf and in solidarity with the Haitian TPS holders, all TPS holders in this country who are our friends, our families, our neighbors, and our co-workers. Haiti today is experiencing severe instability. Armed groups control large parts of the capital. Over 1 million people are displaced. Basic systems like healthcare, education, and public safety are under extreme strain. And still, Haitian people in Haiti are not only surviving. They are showing up for work, caring for their children, going to school, and holding communities together under extraordinary conditions. Haiti is our country. It is the country we love. But loving Haiti does not mean denying its reality. The Supreme Court decision will not impact just Haitian TPS holders. We will all feel the impacts of this decision. Elected officials, employers, leaders in healthcare, public education, hospitality, aviation, agriculture, these sectors rely on Haitian workers, Haitian families, Haitian's talent, and Haitian stability. I'm going to name that again for Floridians. Your largest industries are impacted by Haitian folks: agriculture, hospitality, construction, healthcare. Without Haitian people, those industries could go under. Every institution in this country should be paying attention. It is not enough to issue statements. It's not enough to express concern. No one can remain on the sidelines while families are put at risk. That contradiction demands action. Haitians are not asking for favors. We are asking for consistency, honesty, and protection that reflects this reality. That is why the Senate must pass S 4814 immediately to protect Haitian families who are already part of the fabric of this country. As we celebrate 250 years of this nation, the question that we ask is, do we choose to protect the people who are already here, contributing to our communities, or turn away from them in this moment of crisis? Leadership is not neutral. It requires action, and the time for action is now. Thank you so much.
I'd like to acknowledge Tamara LaBruce now, Executive Director for the Sant Haitian Neighborhood Center.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me, us. I'm Tamara LaBruce, and I'm the Executive Director of Sant. And today, I'm not just speaking as a community leader, but as someone who witnesses the lived reality of Haitian families every single day. Behind every policy decision are real people. Parents trying to keep food on the table, workers caring for our elderly, healthcare aides staffing our hospitals, and families raising U.S.-born children, American children, who call this country home. Since the Supreme Court ruling, fear and uncertainty have intensified across our community. At Sant, we are hearing from families who are frightened, who are overwhelmed, and who are desperate for answers. They are asking, will I lose my job? Is it safe for my children to go back to school? Will I be separated from my children? How will I pay my mortgage? What happens with my driver's license, my work permit, my future? These are not abstract questions. These are urgent survival questions. The immediate need right now is very, very clear. Our families need accurate information, reassurance, and trusted legal guidance. In moments like these, misinformation spreads quickly, fear escalates, and bad actors take advantage of those who are the most vulnerable. This is why community-based organizations like Sant and the many that have joined us today are serving as critical first responders, providing legal referrals, case management, emergency support, workforce guidance, and the trusted information in culturally accessible ways. What our community needs most is stability, not confusion. Our families cannot plan for their future when policy shifts create constant uncertainty. Children suffer when parents live in fear. Employers suffer when experienced workers disappear. Entire communities suffer when stability is replaced by chaos. Haitian TPS workers and holders are deeply woven into every fabric of this nation. As you've heard, they are taxpayers, they are homeowners, business owners, caregivers, construction workers, entrepreneurs, and essential workers. They contribute millions, billions to our economy and help sustain critical sectors, including healthcare, elder care, hospitality, and construction. Removing protections does not harm Haitian families. It harms entire communities and entire economies. We are asking the Senate to act now. This is urgent. Congress has the power to provide meaningful relief and lasting protection for families who have lived, worked, and contributed here for many, many, many years. Congress has both the authority and the moral responsibility to provide meaningful relief and lasting protections for Haitian families who have lived, worked, paid taxes, raised children, and strengthened our communities for years. This moment calls for courage, not for chaos, not for timid action. Compassion is needed and more leadership is required. Haitian families deserve safety, they deserve stability, and they deserve dignity. Our families are not asking for charity. They are asking for fairness, humanity, and the opportunity to continue contributing to the nation they already have helped built and the nation that they call home. So today we ask on the Senate to turn into action. Do not turn away. Do not delay. Pass TPS legislation now. It is what we deserve, and it is what should rightfully be ours. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamara. Next, we'll hear from Dr. Gerda Nicolas of Ayiti Community Trust. She's the president and co-founder. And Dr. Nicolas will speak to the mental health and emotional toll that this ruling and TPS uncertainty is having on Haitian families and communities. Dr. Nicolas.
L'honneur tout le monde. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us today. So that's my night job, and my day job is I'm a professor at University of Miami. My training, I'm a clinical psychologist that works with children and families by training. I've been a psychologist for 33 years, and so I come and speak around some of those key issues. Today, it is indeed a difficult day for many Haitian families. The decision regarding TPS is more than immigration policy. It is a decision that affects parents, children, workers, students, employers, and entire communities. Many people are experiencing uncertainty, fear, and grief. We acknowledge those emotions, and we stand in solidarity with everyone affected by this decision. And as president of Ayiti Community Trust, I want to emphasize one message. And our response is that our response must be guided by dignity. Not panic, not fear, not division, but dignity, compassion, and hope. Throughout Haiti's history, our people have demonstrated extraordinary resilience. We have faced adversity before, and we have always found strength in our communities, our faith, and our commitment to one another. Today calls for that same spirit. For those directly impacted, it is important for us to continue to encourage seeking accurate information from qualified immigration attorneys, trusted organizations, as you've heard. So it is important, please do not make life-changing decisions that is based on rumors and misinformation. At this particular moment, social media is not always our friend. And we know how much social media can absolutely promote fear and uncertainty and that sense of panic. We also believe that we must look beyond today's crisis. Temporary protected status may change. Our commitment to the people of Haiti does not. And that really is an important piece of that. You can tell the old generation versus the young one. Thank you, Tamara, for showing up with paper. Right, and not a phone, right? Because if Haitians were to return home, they deserve communities. And while we are calling for the passing of this bill, we must also simultaneously be prepared for the worst, right? And prepare for what does that look like for our folks resettling back home. Haiti Community Trust, as a foundation that is based at home, is focusing on preparing that for that particular reality. Welcoming people home with dignity and opportunity. They deserve access to mental health support, the economic opportunities, education, health, and so on. That is why we, along with many other local partners in Haiti, have really created the Haiti Community Resilient Initiative that is designed specifically to strengthen communities, to support this reintegration, invest in long-term resiliency. This is not simply about responding to one policy decision. It is about preparing Haiti for the future by investing in local leadership, sustainable community development, and so on. We also want to recognize the countless elected officials from both political parties who have also spoken publicly about the humanitarian implications of this decision. And we are asking for continual bipartisan leadership that is grounded in facts, compassion, and respect for human dignity. To every member of our community, this Haitian community, both here and those who are paying attention to this back at home, it is important for us to recognize that we are not alone, that we will continue to advocate, we will continue to organize, and we will continue to build partnerships. And we will continue to invest in a future where Haiti's strength comes from strong communities, strong institutions, and the resiliency of our people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nicholas. Because NHAEON is a national organization, today's message does extend beyond South Florida. And we have Haitian TPS holders and their families living in communities across the country. And so the impact of this ruling is not just going to be felt here, but also in New York, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and of course, DC, and many other states. And so we're going to transition now to the virtual portion of the agenda, which will now be broadcast and live streamed. However, in room, we will continue and allow